had hell before she beat him in the primary because Sanford was too anti-Trump. She was very pro-Trump. She loses that race. So the president's problems are beyond just some candidates distancing themselves from him. And he knows that, too, which is why that when he campaigned in the final stretch, he went to those very, very red states to campaign for those Senate candidates, not for those suburban districts where the Republicans really.
And so now what is the question? And we're going to have weeks and months to figure this out. But if you watch that news conference Wednesday, there was a lot of fire and fury, a lot of rage from Trump. There were snippets of, I'll even adjust my big tax cut if I can negotiate with the Democrats on a middle class tax cut. Let's sit down and talk about infrastructure. Maybe we can cut a deal on DACA. So there was a little bit of, the art of the deal guy's back. A lot of rage around it. And then this question, can you get along with Nancy Pelosi if, as Nancy Pelosi says, yes, we're going to investigate this president?
We have a constitutional responsibility to have oversight. That's the balance of power. You can be sure of one thing. When we go down any of these paths, we'll know what we're doing and we'll do it right.
Can you compartmentalize that and still continue to work with them for the benefit of the rest of the country?
No.
Or are all bets off?
No. If they do that, then it's just all it is a warlike posture.
You're going to have a fun time on the Capitol Hill beat.
Yeah, welcome to gridlock in Washington for the next 2 years.
Are we sure?
You know, Mark Short and I were talking about this in the green room just the other day. He's a former top advisor of the White House, and he was saying he really thinks there's a chance that Pelosi and Trump could negotiate together on an infrastructure package. Democrats want to be able to show voters that they are for something and not just investigating Trump. And so they do have something on the line in terms of trying to pass legislation and get something done. But I mean, he just fired Jeff Sessions. This is going to be their number one priority when they come in. The chairman already have lists upon lists of documents they want, subpoenas that they're going to issue. And Trump is going to want to fight back. He's not going to want to make a deal with the Democrats.
Or maybe one day he will, and one day he won't. I mean, you remember those Chuck and Nancy dinners last year where they would come over and an hour and a half later, they would emerge and we don't have a debt ceiling anymore. We've made a big immigration deal. Obviously, that fell apart. But I mean, there were a few weeks there where it seemed like every week he had Democrats at the White House and something big was happening. I mean, this guy who he can adapt to whatever he needs to do in that moment, and he's kind of shameless about it. And I think you may see some action that's pretty interesting.
And a question there will be the reaction in the sense that he was about to strike a DACA deal and his own base revolted. Now you have a smaller House Republican, more Trumpy on the surface, but if he starts dealing with the Democrats, we'll see how they react. So interesting times ahead. Up next, the president fires his attorney general just as the investigations kick back into gear.